1993, a woman named Jane Roe changed the way people looked at the most controversial political issue. Her intentions were to give women a right to choose and have control of their body. Little did she know that she was about to change the course of millions of babies and their mothers. Abortion is terminating the lives of babies, affecting the lives of mothers, families, and our nation. Now, 36 years later after Roe v. Wade, we are still battling with the same issue. Pro-choice advocates feel they have made progress through the years, but what has been their progress? Has the progress been 1.5 million abortions a year in the United States, or hundreds of mothers' lives being destroyed physically and emotionally? Whatever the case may be, Roe v. Wade has not solved the problem, but has caused new ones. To understand the immorality of abortion, we must understand when life begins. Human life begins at conception. The baby has human DNA and at 18 weeks has a beating heart, and as early as 6 weeks has brainwaves. By the time most abortions are performed, the child already possesses these functions. Some abortionists aren't sure where to draw the line when life begins, and aren't sure when a fetus becomes a human. Some believe it's not a human because it's not fully developed, but when do they determine when it's fully developed? It is as wrong to kill a child 3 weeks long as it is to kill a child 32 weeks long. It is wrong to kill at any time. The other issue that comes up is that the fetus is not a person. The child is considered by many just a blob of tissue. This decision is not a scientific decision, but a moral decision. A person is not defined by their function, but by their soul. Every child receives a soul at the moment of conception. We need to protect human life no matter what stage they are in the human life. Scientists use the term conceptus, zygote, embryo, and fetus, but it doesn't matter what you call the child. It is still a human with constitutional rights that is alive and has the same rights as a mother. There are many laws against child abuse, but the most violent form of child abuse is protected as a right. Abortion is not different. It hurts a child and takes his life. An ultrasound recorded in 1984 showed what occurred during abortion. It shows a suction machine being inserted, and the child senses danger and moves to the top of the uterus. The child's heartbeat increases, and he starts to move around quickly, trying to get away from the suction machine. What follows is a grotesque act that ends the life of an innocent human being. How can we possibly justify this child abuse? Parents are obligated to take care of their children, so why should a fetus be the exception? They should not be deprived of their rights by the law because of what stage of development they are in. A mother's personal choice begins before pregnancy. She does not have the right to choose whether the baby lives or dies. Her body is separate from the life growing in her. Frank S. Zebzor said, "The fetus is a separate entity to the woman and is entitled to the right to live." A woman shouldn't have to give a baby permission to use her body. In most cases, she knew pregnancy was a possibility. Instead, she should protect the life she is partly responsible for creating. Women want a right to choose, and feel if they don't get that right, they're being treated inferior. The truth is, those women are contradicting themselves by thinking they aren't strong enough and aren't able to raise a child, even against all odds. In 1991, a woman found out she was expecting a baby girl. She was very excited about her pregnancy, but she knew her situation was different than the rest. For you see, she was going to be a single mom. She was asked by doctors if she was going to go on with her pregnancy, and if she knew everything that was required to raise a child. She knew that it wouldn't be easy, but with God's help, she would be able to raise her girl. Now, 18 years later, I stand here as a proud daughter of a mother who's an example that proves anything is possible with the support of family and God. If my mother would have listened to the pro-choice advocates who say that a woman is incapable of taking responsibility of their acts, I wouldn't be here today speaking out and encouraging mothers that they're strong women, that against all odds can raise their child with intelligence and love. Abortion is being portrayed by pro-choice advocates as a procedure that is quick and easy, but the truth is far from that. Women want a right to choose, but they should have a right to know about abortion. Abortion causes many problems and has many dangers. Some believe the dangers are exaggerated, but the evidence is in the women who suffer physical and emotional trauma. Abortion is not the answer under any circumstances, even in the case of rape or incest. A child produced by rape or incest is completely innocent of the crime his parent committed. They're the second victim of the crime and have as much right to live as any other baby. Another difficult case occurs when the child is special. The mother doesn't have the right to take the life of a child with special needs. Just because a child isn't normal in the eyes of the world doesn't mean he or she is less than everyone else. Society is wanting perfection in everything nowadays, and now they're including precious babies. James Bertal said, "Society is beginning to believe that a child has no right to exist and is therefore valued only when it is wanted. Doctors don't cure sick patients by killing them. So why should we terminate the lives of these precious human beings? Instead, the family should be supported and informed of the special needs of the child. Abortion is such a controversial issue that most people don't want to say what they believe, and they try to find common ground. We that believe in pro-life should not conform to what others believe. We should stand up for what we believe and speak out on the issue that most people don't even want to mention. For those who are pro-choice advocates, I beg you to please stop wasting time trying to find ways to justify abortion and use that time to support women and help prevent the death of innocent life. Abortion is a horrible act that is doing away with our nation's future. Ronald Reagan said, "Who might they be doing away with? Another Lincoln or Beethoven, Einstein or Edison? Who shall play God?" Let us not be so self-centered that we ignore the fact that innocent blood is being shed by our country. But let us take responsibility and stop this horrible act. We live in the greatest nation where every person has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let's not let millions of unborn babies be the exception.